Hi Adam, thanks for talking to us today.
No problem.
So tell me a little bit about yourself and what drew you to blind football. What's your background?
Well, back probably 12 years ago, I was working out of football. I was working for Hereford United, and I decided one day I didn't have much going on in my life. I was going to volunteer my time at the Royal National College for the Blind, and that's been it since. So before that, I knew I was always wanted to be a football coach. Didn't know what capacity. I played a bit of football before then, but through different reasons didn't make it a career in football. Got into football coaching and then volunteered my time, and since that day, 12 years ago, I've always worked in blind football and haven't done any other football coaching. So I've worked at the Royal National College for the Blind, and then I've worked for the FA now for 7 years in blind football.
Great. So just coming off of that, what's the journey been like to get here now with the national women's team?
With the women's team, yeah. So we set up a load of really informal activity days in the summer last year, July and August. And off the back of that, we've had quite a bit of interest. And since then, each month have done different activity to get to this point, whether that be a day's worth of training or a training camp. And yeah, we've got to this point now where we feel like the girls can compete in a competition.
What advice would you give to someone that wants to start playing blind football and even as a career, not just recreationally?
I think the first thing is to find the right type of club or environment for you to play in and train in. What is happening now is there's a lot of visually impaired people in mainstream schools, so it's hard for people like myself that are trying to find visually impaired young people to play football where to look. So we really need them to have the initiative to try and contact their local sight loss organisations, county FAs or pro clubs, and then hopefully those people then will signpost to us. So there's a big piece of work that I'm doing at the minute. It's still going to be ongoing. That's just going to get more people involved in blind football and make it better known where they can go for that. And then I think if anyone wants to get involved, it's like the old sayings: work hard, dedicate your time, and that's what some of these girls have been doing, and they're seeing the improvements from that.
What's impressed you most about this group of players that you've been working with?
Probably the improvement that they've had and the progression that they've made. It's only been 9 months, and for some of them it's the first time they've ever played blind football, and to get to this point where they're playing games and they're playing against an opposition, they've learned the rules really quickly, they've learned all the tactical and technical elements. It's been incredible. And it's been really humbling as well as a coach, because a lot of coaches kind of see like the end goal or want to be involved in elite football, whereas we've started from the grassroots side of it and we're now trying to progress them as much as we possibly can, and the girls are responding to that. So it's been amazing to work with.
What needs to be done to get blind football more well known?
I think it's connecting with the right people. So charities such as VICTA, making sure that your family weekends, the networking that you do, that you know about blind football, or you know where to signpost the users. But not only that within those family weekends, there's an offer of blind football there for people to play and maybe play it for the first time or continue their kind of journey in blind football. I would say that.
How influential has VICTA been in blind football and the women's blind game?
Oh, massive. The girl Lucy, that's in the squad that's going to the Euros. We only knew about Lucy because a partner of ours was doing some work. It's actually my little brother was doing some work for VICTA, and he rang me up and said, I've just worked with this girl. She's been under blindfolding and she looks really good. And that was on the VICTA camp. And that's massive. For us, one of the key things is recruiting, and something that we struggle with for the reasons of visually impaired kids being in mainstream schools. And what VICTA have is a database of where visually impaired children are and where these families are. and I think it's for us to kind of better connect with yourselves, to keep growing the game. But yeah, VICTA's been massive. Like, without VICTA, Lucy wouldn't be able to play blind football. She wouldn't have the experience of going to Italy and playing in the first ever Euro. So yeah, we're very thankful to VICTA and the work and the partnership work that you've been doing with us, and I think it can definitely grow.
What are your hopes for this Women's Euro game against Germany, and the future of the women's game in even the Olympics as a possibility?
Yeah, so I suppose short term it's continuing our journey with the girls. For me, I probably wouldn't, and the messaging that we're sending out to the girls for the Euros is not about, the results aren't important. There's a wider picture to this. There's a process to this. So there's another big landmark coming up in 2023, the IBSA World Games, which is held in Birmingham, which obviously we want VICTA and other partners to be massively part of, and we can make more of a fuss of women's blind football there. So yeah, look, I mean, it's always nice to beat Germany, but it wouldn't be the end goal, and we just want these girls to enjoy their first experience of a major competition. I think for then, you look beyond that, and then you're probably then wanting to look at some returns, and hopefully that women's blind football can be in a Paralympic cycle, maybe as early as LA 2028. And if that is the case, that would be amazing, and then we'll look to kind of medal and different bits from there. But for now, it's about exposing girls to this type of competition, these types of environment, and then looking at an outcome-based approach later on in years to come.
Great. Thanks a lot, Adam.
No worries.